All right. Good morning, everyone. How we doing? It is Tuesday, October 7th. NASDAQ is making fresh all-time highs during the overnight session, which is kind of a bummer. It's a little bit of a bummer for me because I like those levels of interest. I like well-developed market structure to work with. But on the flip side of that, we can all be happy about our retirement accounts, hopefully at all-time highs. So that's always a plus, always a double-edged sword there with the market at all-time highs. As far as actually day trading, intraday trading, index products at all-time highs, not my favorite. Not my favorite. It's definitely a time to be doing less. Definitely a time that's going to be a little bit slower, at least for my personal playbook. It's not going to be the case for everyone, but for me personally, all-time highs is pretty much always going to be a slower period just based on my process and how I like to trade. So for this morning, really what I'm going to be focusing on is, let's bring NQ up on the screen here. I'll be looking at prior day high. It's our nearest reference point to work with. We can see, take a look at how well the fibs are working, those fib extensions. You love to see it. So this fib is taken from, I don't know if you can see that, those purple lines on the screen there, a couple of fib extensions. It's taken from this high right through here down into that low, and we've got the 1.27 fib extension and 1.41 fib extension. You can see how well this one right here was treated initially, and now we've officially tested that 1.41 extension, 25,277. Current high is 25,25, 25,275. So we're right there. We are right there. We're going to have, let's see, we got 3 minutes till the open. So more than likely, we're going to have a slight gap higher. Might still be within the prior day's range, depending on how these next few minutes turn out. But like I said, prior day high is our nearest reference point. So I'll be focused on how price responds to this level right through here, this reference point, 25,252, and how this gap is going to be treated. Are we going to see continued price discovery with fresh all-time highs being made, or is price going to trade within the prior day's range, maybe retest 25,200, last week's high, maybe venture back down into prior day low? I have no idea. No crystal ball. No crystal ball, right? Purely reacting to what price shows me and using market structure and technical analysis to find the path of least resistance and guide my decisions. So that's what we're looking at for this morning. We've got a little less than 2 minutes until the open. Prior day highs, the primary watch, 25,250. ES, interestingly enough, did have an inside day yesterday, so I'm definitely going to be keeping a closer eye on ES. You can see the inside day there. I do like those inside day breaks. So ES, that prior day high in the 6,800 level of interest. You want to keep at least one eye on that zone. See if ES can trigger that inside day breakout. That's worth keeping an eye on. That's pretty much it for this morning. Taking a look at the economic calendar, we do have some Fed speak later this morning, but no economic data. Let's clean up this chart a little bit. There we go. And 30 seconds till the open. Okay, let's see what we're working with. Where's that session volume point of control? It's way down there at 150. Prior day volume point of control right near 25,200. Overnight high 25,275. 15-minute candle before the bell showing a bit of exhaustion there after that fresh all-time high was made. Let's see what we're working with here. Just looking for those A plus high quality setups, right? That's all we can do. So we do have a gap higher, still within prior days range. There's your 5 minute RTH. Move that right into that prior day value area high. Not somewhere I set risk against, but just an observation. Session volume point of control has shifted right into 237 now. NQ, that's a fresh high, and we're coming into prior day high. Prior day value area high held as support. It's pretty neat. See how this prior day high is going to be treated. 25,252. You have ES into that 6,800. Anyone hold AMD? I saw that thing was up like 30% yesterday. Any AMD holders? That thing was a monster yesterday. Wow, Irvin, you still have it? You had it till yesterday? Wow. 2,300%. My goodness. Closed it yesterday. Nice. Congrats, man. That's a good day right there. 2,300%. Wow. NQ opening 5-minute bar about to close. NQ new high of day. Up through prior day high. See how prior day high, overnight high zone is going to be treated here. Can hear all the road ragers outside standing on their horn. Many years ago, I used to commute to work. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. 45 minutes. 45-minute commute I had. Now I just commute downstairs to my office. Good times. I don't miss commuting? No, not at all, man. Not at all. I rode a motorcycle too, so California. California lane splitting's legal, but sometimes it gets a little dicey on the motorcycle. Yeah, lane splitting. Yep. Don't miss taking the subway to work, Benny. That seems actually a little bit better to me. So at least you don't have to like as far as I know, the subway is pretty much always on schedule, right? That could just be ignorance on my part, but it seems like it's always on schedule. No? Oh, damn. Never? Oh, shit. Not if you're sitting next to someone who smells. Yeah, that's valid. That's true. So NQ is still right here near prior day I. I've not seen an entry that I can really work with. So staying patient right now. Staying in that observation mode. Volume. I mean, we can see the volume is just look at this. There's a little uptick in volume. Prior day high continues to reject here. A little consolidation beneath prior day high. This might be another wait till 10 a.m. sort of morning. NQ is caught here between session volume point of control and prior day high. Coming into the lows. RTY catching a bid there. RTY new high of day up through overnight high. And a hold right there. Session volume point of control. Right back in a prior day high. It was wildly slow. .46 range. ES, no inside day break triggered there. Failed. ES is coming into session lows. Pretty much untradeable so far. Untradeable. Still cash this morning. What are you going to do with this? What are you going to do? Nothing to do. So we have 10 minutes till 10 a.m. I like to see price leave this structure. This 5-minute opening range. Are we still in the... Yeah, we're still pretty much within that 5-minute opening bar there. What I used to do for work, Des, quality control for a DoD contractor down in Point Loma, Naval Base Point Loma. Yeah, ES into the lows. Okay. See if that's giving us some clues here for NASDAQ. NQ just struggling with that prior day high, 252. Cannot get above the 252. Let's take a look at higher time frame structure. 60. 30-minute closing in 7 minutes just shows a doji right now. How's everyone doing so far this morning? Not getting chopped up, I hope. I hope. Look at this volume. Less than half of that of the typical average at this time of day. Yeah, ES coming back in a prior day high. So it's just an intraday spring. Maudie Cash, Dave trading gold. Oh, gold looks like a nice hold at prior day high. Solid. Good choice there, Dave. Tom, I may as well go start my day job with this price action. Rich chair is out of reach from the keys. Solid. Got Mario in the chat. Nice. Here we go. Waking up a little now. NQ, very slight new high of day there. Uptick in volume. So we'll see if this actually breaks that opening 5-minute range or just sits in here. So it just sweeps the high and it's right back into the structure. Yeah, right back in there. So we're coming into 10 a.m. We have no data. We do have some Fed speak at 10 a.m. But ultimately, what we want to see right now is if price can just leave. I mean, I call this like 5-minute barcode. All these bars are overlapping on the 5-minute RTH chart. There's no direction. And technically, for regular trading hours, this is all-time highs. So there's not a whole lot I can do. And it is boring. But remember, we're not here for excitement. We're not here for excitement. Looking for our edge and just executing accordingly. And sometimes that's going to mean you take a cash day. And that's all right. NQ right back there into session volume point of control. You have ES back into the low. So ES actually bounced and rejected prior day high. Here's 10 a.m. It was even slower than yesterday. You got ES pressing the lows. So ES coming into that prior day volume point of control. Technically, ES technically did mark a fresh all-time high this morning, but for the most part, there's just a 4 session range. And here we go, NQ, new low of day. I'll look at 25,200. It's last week's high on NQ, prior day volume point of control. Oh, that's real messy. Right there here. There we go. That's just a couple of reference points we have right there. If that area fails, let's say 25,200 fails, I'll be hands off till overnight low. It's assuming we even get some movement. It's waking up a little bit now. Buyers trying to force that little intraday spring, little sweep of the low, no man's land spring. Can't trade that personally. So NQ just having another masterclass on why you don't want to trade breakouts in the index. Sweeps the high at 956, just gets stuffed there. That'd be like your intraday up thrust. Sweep the high, right back into the structure, and then pretty much same thing down here, spring. I like the spring, but like I mentioned yesterday, I need it with good location. I need a reference point. I need some level. I need something else there. Setups are a dime a dozen. I need good trade location. Once price is in a good trade location, then I need the setup. Most traders are looking for the setup. They don't care about the location. So that can work, but I mean, like any generic setup is going to be happening quite frequently, and then just a low probability to work out, much lower hit rate. So we'll just let it go. Let it go. It's all good. No FOMO. Volume is another filter here that's helping me stay patient. Still below average. Yeah, ES definitely some weakness there versus NQ. Yeah, right back in a prior day high. So both sides of the structure get swept. Trap some people and just rip it the other way. Gotta love it. Got to love it. Once you can really identify and position with those traps, start to find some serious edge in those areas. Personally, though, still cash. Still, it has been a cash morning. Still cash. 47-point range on NQ. This is an instrument that trades at 25,000 with a 40-point range. RTY into prior day low. If you like to trade the Russell. ES just sitting on VWAP. Let's see, what else do we have? That's about it. NQ in the middle of the intraday structure, session volume point of control right there. Again, looking for a break of this 5-minute, now 15-minute barcode. Des RTY short, nice. Yeah, it looks pretty good there. GC is still respecting prior day high. If you like to trade the gold, I need to see price leave this structure in the next 10 to 15 minutes on the personal account. Otherwise, I'll shut down the personal account and switch strictly to props. It's the game plan. It's part of my rules there. ES back in a session lows. See if it marks the fresh low. NQ just sideways. Sideways action continues. Sessions like this always a real test of patience and discipline. Can you fight the boredom? Or do you just have to put some points on the board? We'll get a fresh 30-minute bar here in 6 minutes. RTY, new low of day coming into overnight low. ES, new low right there as well. There you go. NQ waking up a bit. New low of day. We'll see how 25,200 is going to be treated now. Good uptick in volume. ES intraday downtrend continues. NQ, I'd like to see a little bit lower into 25,200. GC looking good versus that prior day high. Dave, you back in there? And Q, we're looking at 25,200. See if we get an actual test down there. And Q just catching a lift now. Darn. I wanted a little bit lower. May have been asking for too much there. About 1 hour into the sesh. How we doing, folks? How's it looking? I'm still cash on the personal. Still cash. I'm looking at 25,200. Keep it going a little bit longer here. See if we could get a test down into that area. Prior day volume point of control, previous all-time high, last week's high, down there at 25,200. There we go. NQ new low of day on an uptick in volume. So we'll see how this 200 area is going to be treated. Cash, green, green, nice. Nice work. That's a good uptick in volume. Do we have some Fed speak here? Or is this thing just cracking the lows? Bringing some audience. Let me check the feeds really quick. Don't see any breaking news in the feeds. So almost the highest volume of the sesh right there. So far, no interest at 200. That overnight gap is going to fill into 177. That's prior day close. Not a true gap. Still opened in the prior day's range. See how this 1 minute closes right here. A little hammer. No follow through so far. GC just swept the overnight high. That was a nice prior day high bounce there. Beautiful. Little bit of a bounce. See how this VWAP's going to be treated, underside of VWAP. I like to bring the intraday fib at this time. So I have the 38% fib right in this area. All right, Irvin, take care, man. And right back into 200. So like I said earlier, if 200 fails, I'll be hands off till way down there, overnight low. Buyers trying to defend. Decent volume. You got a couple hammers there. Nice, Tom. That's good to hear. And NQ right back into the lows. Still looking at the reaction right here near 25,200. 5 minute shows a doji. New 15-minute bar just opened up as we get into 11 a.m. All good, Des. On to the next, man. On to the next. Like to see some follow through above 200 here. Prior day volume point of control, last week's high, current session value area low. See if the 5-minute helps us or not. So NQ right back into VWAP. Little break of the 212 area here would be ideal for buyers. Sellers just right back in it right there. Five-minute showing potentially another doji here. We'll see in the next 45 seconds. And that rejection puts price right back into the lows. Ten minutes till 11 a.m. About 90 minutes into the sesh at that point. NQ new low of day. And overnight gap just about filled here. 177 prior day close. Small overnight gap. Good volume. Good volume. That's great to see. So if we see this acceptance below 25,200, if this current low fails, I'm all hands off until overnight low. Or some higher time frame reversal, 15-minute hammer, 30-minute hammer can bring me back. Reclaim of some reference point, something like that. We'll see here. NQ still in this structure. Is that a fresh low? Not quite. Not quite. Five-minute, again, shaped like a hammer, but it needs follow through. Shape doesn't matter without any follow through. Confirmation. See if we get it. NQ still in that area. Four minutes till 11. You'll have a new 30-minute bar at that time. And NQ right back into the lows. There's your new low of day. See if 11 has anything in store for us, and I'll go ahead and call it right there. See, it's starting to lag again. We have these isolated upticks in volume here. Keep an eye on that relative volume. Couple seconds till 11. Sometimes you'll get a little burst of action here with that fresh 30-minute bar opening. Let's see. I like the volume that came in late morning. ES intraday downtrend continues. RTY also down near the lows. GC with some strength. We were talking about prior day high on that one earlier. Nice bounce from prior day high. And NQ still here near prior day volume point of control. That last week high at 196.25, 196. What I'm really looking at is if these 5-minute candles can break and hold prior bar high, might have something to work with there. How's profile looking? Oh, you got a really long way until that volume point of control shifts lower. Same with RTH. Yeah, right back into the lows. Right back into the lows. Let's see, do we get the new low of day? Yep, there's your new low of day. So I'll keep an eye down near overnight low. It's pretty much the main area I'm interested in. I was interested in the 200. We gave it a try through there for a stop. I was able to scale out of a small portion on the initial entry and then added back with what looked like a little spring, but then ended up just taking the full stop. So that is all she wrote. 0 for 1 on the day, and we'll call it right there. That is a wrap on the morning. Overall, pretty slow day. We started the day quite choppy, low volume. Start to get the volume as price cracks the low. Looking for a bounce in that 200 area. Did not materialize. So now I'll keep an eye down near overnight low. Otherwise, just going to be hands off. We'll keep it going in the Traders Think Tank this morning. Hope you guys had a solid morning. Thanks for your time. And we'll be live tomorrow as well. So we'll see you tomorrow morning. Take care.